Maverick News presents The Rick Walker Show. Defrag your mind.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to the Maverick News Channel. Great to have everybody here. We are broadcasting live on a lot of platforms, not all platforms, because we're not on Odyssey, because they're really weird, a bizarre sort of platform. I don't know. I'm kind of giving up on it, honestly. It doesn't seem to be working for me. So, not there tonight. Just don't seem to get any traction on that platform. And we're not on Facebook. Because, I'm pretty much giving up on that too. I'll tell you, I'm going to go beyond just being fed up with them. I'm at the point where I'm ready to start initiating legal action. Fed up I am with Facebook and their authoritarian ways. We'll talk about that tonight. We're also going to dig in. We're going to have an episode of Truespiracies within this Maverick News episode. Because normally we would do that on Sunday, but this week is a little disjointed. And I'll tell you, most of the news tonight fits into the Truespiracies category. It's news so true, it's unbelievable. So we'll share those stories with you as a separate Truespiracies program. We'll begin tonight, though, with the top news of the day in the main vein. It's hard to decide where to put the stuff. Do you put it in with the regular news mix, or do we throw it into the Truespiracies category? The Trump trial, that's going in Truespiracies. Taylor Swift, I've got a story about that. Truespiracies. A personal investigative report into a hospital involving Taylor Swift. I did the investigating, my personal experience. I'll share that with you tonight. Columbia University, protests escalating. They're going to, get this, stay-at-home learning. That's a result. That's going in the regular news. New York Times bias, regular news. And they're biased. They're being accused of bias in the way they're handling the story in Gaza. Protests in Canada on the streets. Things got a little dicey with Dacey Media capturing some violence on the street up in Ottawa. We'll show you. Train on fire going through my hometown, London, Ontario. A burning train. Like literally flames shooting into the air overnight. That's going in the regular news. Maybe it'll be Truespiracies. I don't know. It's really weird. I know that much, but it's true, and we'll show you. Kifa, controversy, Ontario legislature, regular news. What else do we have going on? Freedom Acts, tax protests taken down, set up in another location. I got that. We've got burning landfills in India. That's how they marked Earth Day, I guess. Lots of caffeine again for tonight. Bizarro world it is. What else do we have for you tonight? Oh, yes. How could I forget? Sophie Trudeau. She is still gushing real truth about her ex, Justin, as she continues to promote her embarrassing book, a book that embarrasses the Prime Minister. Sucks to be him, kinda. We'll dig into all of it tonight, in both The regular news segment coming up right after this, and Truespiracies later on this evening. So don't go away. There's a lot to unpack.
Maverick News. The world is watching. Greetings, brave Mavericks. Our quest for truth continues. We go beyond fake news. Together we expose propaganda. Together we pull others out of rabbit holes. We are maverick thinkers. We are all unique individuals, defenders of individual rights and freedoms, credible, trusted, grounded in reality. Maverick News, Maverick News. Defending free speech, free speech. Donate at freedomreporters.com. Do it now. Tomorrow may be too late. Maverick News. The world is watching.
So, word just in that Columbia University has announced classes because of all the pro-Palestinian anti-Israeli protests, anti-Israel protests on campus. Classes moving forward will be done remotely, I guess, for the rest of this year. That's the report that's coming in tonight on various fronts. And some people are now calling for tuition refunds, where in some cases those fees can top $70,000 a year. And we've seen students exercising well, I guess their right to free speech while practicing their camping skills on campus. Here's what it looks like. Oh, hang on, where are we? There we go. I guess they're all going to get to go home and study remotely from now on. So that's what she looks like at Columbia University. We'll just turn the audio down on that. You got the idea. Yup. I don't know if they're getting much of an education. I guess it's an education in itself. Okay. Well, 70 grand to go and do that. Yeah, let's go. Here's some more from Columbia.
This is the Embarassing campus will be arrested and charged with trespassing. This is the Embarassing campus will be arrested and charged with trespassing. This is the
Kids. There it is. Camp Columbia. If you were a parent and you paid 70 grand and your kid went there and spent the day camped out on the lawn, and then I don't know, would you still pay the 70 grand for them to engage in remote learning from home using a webcam? Okay. I don't know. I just makes me laugh. I'm just, it's a terrible thing, but I'm laughing because I don't know. It just makes me laugh. Not the war, these students. That's all. It's they just make me laugh because they probably couldn't find Gaza on a map. Most of them. Just thinking. But anyway. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm home. What are you doing home, Johnny? Well, they kicked all the students off campus and told us we all have to go home. So I'm here. I get to hang out with you guys and learn and just attend classes with my webcam. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to tell your mom we're gonna have to disassemble the rumpus room. Johnny's home, quick, hide everything. Just saying. That's our lead story and I'm laughing about it. Oh man, it is a weird night and I'm in a weird mood. So, a little bit. And it's getting weird and violent on the streets. And I just held my finger up, okay? It's just, it doesn't mean anything. It's meaningless. Forget about it. Seriously. Don't read anything into that. It's nothing. Honest. If you want something to talk about on the conspiracy theory side, we've got that stuff coming up. You don't need to worry about this. How about this on the streets? This is Chris Stacey in Ottawa. And some protester, some guy named Brian Dirksen, confrontation. And it got a little bit dicey. And it got dicey on the streets. And Dacey was there to capture the moment. And he says, this is a learning moment. Maybe. Look at what happened here. And then we're going to do this slow-mo.
I respect my parents. Yeah, because they contribute to society and you're a fucking loser. It's obvious.
Let's go this guy.
Oops.
You fucking punched. Oh, you hit me, man. Fucking hit me again.
Did I hear that? He said, effing hit me again? Spank me harder, Daddy. Oops. So I guess the original source was T-shirt Radical on X.
That's enough.
That's the original source for this. That's who shot it originally. And Dacey is sharing it on his channel. Now we're sharing it here. Oh, you pushed me. These things can get pretty out of hand, though, you know. I don't recommend anybody get into any kind of an altercation like this. But did somebody learn a lesson? Maybe. Let's watch it again. I want to hear what he said there. He basically said, spank me harder, Daddy.
I respect my parents. Yeah, because they contribute to society and you're a fucking loser. It's obvious.
Let's go this guy.
Ooh.
You fucking punched. Oh, you hit me, man. Fucking hit me again.
He liked it so much he asked for it again. Did you hear that?
Fucking hit me again. You hit me, man. Fucking hit me again.
It's just, how stupid can you be? Oh, effing hit me again. Do it again. Spank me harder, Daddy. Spank me harder. They went to a protest and a hockey game broke out. Now that's Canadian. Jesus. Oh, boy.
I respect my parents. Yeah, because they contribute to society, and you're a fucking loser. You
Let's kill this guy.
Oh, you fucking punch. Oh, you hit me, man. Fucking hit me again. Fuck.
This gentleman, oops, sorry. This gentleman in the wheelchair's taking it all in too, eh?
Yeah, this is crazy, man.
That's enough.
Okay, let's watch it in slow-mo and see if this guy really did hit the other guy. Just saying, let's take a look. Here, 0.25 speed. Here we go.
I respect my parents. Yeah, because they contribute to society.
Right there! Right there! Right there again! I can't see if he actually made contact, but it looks like he probably did. Right there! He's poking him. And then he poked him back.
Fucking punch. Oh, you hit me, man. Fucking hit me again.
Hit me again! Hit me again! You're eating me again. Hit me again. We're going to go out and protest. Bring your hockey sticks and your golf clubs. That's why, I guess. Oh, man. Jesus. Yeah. I'm glad they could resolve that. Good political discussion there. Jeez. What the hell is going on out there, man? Just why? Why? What the? What? What'd you do today? I went to a protest. What happened to your face? Hockey game. Where were you? Parliament Hill. Oh, freaking idiots. And then the cops come in after they beat the shit out of each other. The cops go, okay, break it up. Oh, I was a referee for hockey for a while when I was young. Yeah, I took a course and everything, right, when I used to play hockey. You know, when they would fight, we let them fight for a little while. And then when they get tired, then you pull them apart. That's basically what the cops were doing. Oh, guys, you're so stupid. Oh my God. Oh, people have just lost their brains. I swear to God. Oh, that's Canada's capital. The seat of government. These guys are upset with the government because they fight too much in Parliament. So they're doing that inside. These guys are doing it outside. It's just a constant melee. I swear to God. Oh my God, I just can't anymore. It's just hilarious. Oh, it's funny. And then these guys here. Oh my God. Oh, they are so stupid. Look at these idiots. They paying $70,000 a year to do this. Oh, Jesus. $70,000. Okay, that's U.S. dollars, by the way. What's that worth? About, I don't know, 400,000 Canadian. That's just, oh my God. Oh, here's Mr. Bicycle Man. Look at this guy. Oh, this is the news. It's so stupid. Look at this guy. He's really going at it. Go, Jagmeet, go. For crying out loud. Oh, man. Oh, Singh non-committal on keeping schedule increases to Liberals' carbon price in place, whatever. You pedal your heart out there, buddy. Jesus. I'll stick to my VW, and I got an old Honda too that I bought for like a bag of chips. Oh, speaking of chips. Oh, it's old. It's an old car, man, and it ain't worth nothing. I haven't transferred the ownership yet to the MTO, but I'm gonna go down there and they're gonna charge me. Oh, it's like a $300 car, right? Scrap to anybody else, but I'll fix it. but they're going to probably charge. I paid like what we paid $500 for it. My son found this thing for me. Do you know what they're going to charge me on tax? They're going to charge me probably tax on a value of $1,500 because the government is so fair. It's true. Oh my God, there's something for Truespiracies. Oh, whatever. I'll just pay it. Who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. It's like, you see, I can't afford the tax, let alone the car. The tax is going to cost as much as the car, because when you can't just go in there and actually show them a receipt for $500. They don't believe you anymore, right? It's like, you made that up. You lied. Black Book 1,500. No, come look at the car, man. It's like a piece of shit. It's real. Nope, 1,500. Got to pay the tax on 15. No, man, it's a piece of shit. It's like, you can't. You just got to pay it. Oh, and then it's just, oh man, no, it's really a piece of shit. Oh. Oh, yeah, here. Oops. Shouldn't have done that, buddy. That didn't work out so well for him. Okay. Lesson is, don't do that. Pretty simple. Pretty freaking simple. Okay, what else do we have tonight that's real news? It's all real news. It's so stupid, though. All of it. It's all so stupid. Stupid news. So Colombia, yeah, we did that. We did the Daisy. That wasn't even really his video. But he's sharing other people's videos these days, so that's cool. And, yeah, the Freedom Acts the Tax thing, like those guys, they moved. So they're over someplace now. They left the Trans-Canada, and now they're on Highway 2 someplace in Alberta between Edmonton and Calgary. Somewhere along there, I don't know why they moved. Somebody, whatever. In the Ontario legislature, they had, it's just, the Kifia, they Palestinian symbol of resistance, political symbol. No, it's not. No, it's not. We get to wear it in the legislature because the speaker banned it, right? The House Speaker, and then they had a vote, and for the Speaker's motion to be rescinded, you have to have a unanimous vote. And so they had the vote, and it wasn't unanimous, so the ban stays in place. But now people are upset, so they had a protest inside the legislature, and some of the politicians are urging the Speaker to reverse the decision. And here's what it looked like inside the House, if I can find it for you. Here it is. This is the Ontario provincial legislature in Toronto, not Parliament, not in Ottawa. This is in Toronto, where the Kifia has been banned. All right, this is what happened there today. You can hear him in the background there.
Downstairs. Wow.
Not terribly dramatic footage there, but you can hear them. And you can see them here. Here they are. I don't know. It's like protesting like a rite of passage when you go to university for some people or something. I don't know. Yeah, here they are. Look, I brought it in. I brought it in. You banned it, and I brought it in. So yeah, I know the premier. He wants the decision reversed. Doug Ford. But I don't know what's going to happen there. My guess is that will happen. And I think I've got a clip here. This is Paul Calandra, who is the House leader for Doug Ford's Conservatives in the Ontario Legislature. And he talks about the ban. And I don't know. Let's just listen to what he has to say. Here we go. Oh, I lost it again. Hang on. I've got it for you, though. Don't go away. Don't go away. No, really. Stay right where you are. I've got it. I've got it. There we are. Yes. And there he goes.
Opposition when it comes to how people... I don't take any lessons from the leader of the opposition when it comes to how people, marginalized people, feel. I'm an Italian Canadian. I don't take any...
And who's this one? We've got so the NDP's really behind trying to get this ban overturned, and this is Merritt Stiles. Okay, let's listen to what she has to say. Here she is. She's a New Democrat in the Ontario Legislature. Okay, take it away, Marit.
Of a political message nor an accessory likely to cause disorder and should therefore be permitted to be worn in this House.
Order. Ms. Stiles is seeking the unanimous consent of the House that this House acknowledge that the keffiyeh is a culturally significant clothing item to many in Ontario's Palestinian, Muslim and Arab communities, and should neither be considered an expression of a political message nor an accessory likely to cause disorder, and should therefore be permitted to be worn in the House. Agreed? Heard some no's.
And because he heard some no's, it doesn't pass. So, controversy continues. The attempts to have that ban overturned will be back. Trust me, it's gonna happen. What else we got going on here tonight? Okay, so we did the keffiyeh. We did the Daisy thing. We did that thing. We did Columbia. Oh, New York Times bias. The Intercept, which is bias against the New York Times. They've been hammering on the New York Times, accusing the New York Times of being pro-Israel in their coverage of Gaza. They claim to have a memo that has been distributed to reporters, coaching them in the language they're supposed to use when writing stories. Honestly, this is not that unusual. Reuters, Associated Press, all the major news organizations, they generally have, and I'm sure the New York Times does as well, what they call a style guide. Broadcast news service, the wire services, they all have a style guide or style guides. And that helps reporters with language. Some would say it directs reporters, it injects editorializing into the reporting, but really there's an element of that, I suppose, that is inevitable when you are creating a guide trying to show or channel the way that reporters use particular words or phrases. So these guidelines issued in this memo, which I would say is probably an extension or an update to or an addendum to the style guide for the New York Times to help reporters as they try to figure out how to use certain terms in incorrect ways or in ways that keep them out of legal trouble or for various different reasons. Words like massacre, genocide, terrorist, words like that. And so the allegation is that the reporters are being told not to use the word terrorist when referring to anything that Israel does, or genocide. The other way around, they're saying it's okay to say that about the Palestinians. So I'm sure there's some truth to that. How sinister that is, I don't know. Because here's the thing, all right? The New York Times, every news organization is getting it on both sides. I would say I can see bias in individual stories. I don't read the New York Times enough to know if these allegations of bias are accurate or not. I just don't pay enough attention to the New York Times. I don't find enough value in it. They've undermined their trust with me, and I think with the public largely as well. But they are sort of like the king of the castle. They're at the top of the food chain, you know. So what I wanted to show you is, oh, here it is. Okay. So here's the Intercept piece on this. And it says, their headline, coverage of Gaza war in the New York Times and other major newspapers heavily favored Israel, analysis shows. A quantitative analysis shows major newspapers skewed their coverage toward Israeli narratives in the first 6 weeks of the assault on Gaza. Anyway, it goes down, this whole story. I told you basically what it's about. You can go and read the full story if you'd like to. Disproportionate coverage, they're just, you can make stats say whatever you want, honestly. So that's the Intercept. But the Intercept is that's just me holding my finger up, is very anti-New York Times. It's anti-colonial. It's very pro-Palestinian. So I would say the Intercept definitely has a pro-Palestinian slant, just to be fair, in my coverage of them providing analysis and criticism of the coverage in their investigative report. But on the flip side of that, you also have Jewish organizations, Jewish media, Jewish, pro-Jewish, pro-Israel media, pro-Zionist media, criticizing the New York Times for being anti-Israel. And proof of that is right here. This is just one example. There are lots of other ones. You can go find this stuff easily online. Why is the New York Times so anti-Israel? This is a Quora. And why is the New York Times so anti-India? Why is the New York Times so critical of India? Why is CNN so biased against Israel? Why does the New York Times hate Britain? Why is the Haaretz newspaper so anti-Israel, and why is it so unnewsworthy? Why? Do you see? I guess it depends on what side you're on, how you view the news coverage, right? Why is the mainstream media so against Israel? I mean, as I sit and watch it, I'd say it's Israel's losing the PR war, the information war. I haven't seen a lot of positive pro-Israel news coverage, to be quite honest with you. I do see some pushback on anti-Jew, anti-Israel protests here, like I've been showing you. I've been seeing that beginning. And I'm seeing, we're seeing stuff like this. This is just the raw footage, I guess. How raw is it? Well, I guess it's as raw as it is, given that it's clipped. Could do a short clip for X.
Keep it moving, you Zionist bitch. Keep it moving, you Zionist bitch.
We are Hamas!
You're Hamas, wow. That's a good one. You're what? You're Hamas?
Yes, we're all Hamas, eh? Hamas!
Yeah, we ran that the other night. Okay. Oh, boy. It's not even funny. That's not funny. Anyway, you might want to go check out those stories if you're wondering about the, you want to get into the nitty-gritty on the numbers. But whenever people start pulling out stats, even then I'm skeptical because you can make the stats say anything you want. That is true. And there we are, you know, in Ontario, at the Ontario legislature, individuals being barred from the legislature while wearing the keffiyeh. They say that it's part of their cultural identity, these protesters, although I think some of them maybe not even Palestinian. And it's going to escalate. Like I said yesterday in the thumbnail, brace for worse, because it's a coming. Okay, so we did that. Oh, the landfill fire in, two fires. Two. It's just me holding up two fingers, okay? I'm not a mason. Two fires. Not that I have anything against the Masons. There's this fire in New Delhi. Landfill fire. Did it start on Earth Day? Anyway, yesterday was Earth Day, right? Here we go. Check this out. Giant landfill. I think this is one of the largest landfills in the world. It's on fire. And it's not the first time. Do you know what happens when you burn garbage like that? You get all kinds of cancer-causing chemicals spewing into the air. It's not just the carbon. I don't really care about the carbon. It's all the cancer-causing chemicals that come from industrial pollution and fires like that. That's the stuff that worries me the most. I'll tell you. Here, let's look at that again. Absolutely horrific. Especially, you know, when you burn garbage like that at that kind of temperature, you're burning all manner of things. You don't know what's in there. But there are all kinds of toxic things. Old paint, plastics, car batteries, stuff that's not supposed to be in there because people just discard it without recycling it improperly. All kinds of stuff. Organic material mixed in with industrial waste. And it's on fire and it's turning into smoke and it is spreading everywhere. I remember when the Detroit garbage incinerator was built and it was controversial. Learned a lot about what it takes to burn garbage in a way that is less harmful to minimize the risk to the public. You have to incinerate it at a very, very high temperature in order to destroy a lot of the carcinogens that are created during the combustion process. But when you burn it in the open air like that, bad news, man. You don't want to be breathing that stuff in. You don't know what it is. That's terrible, terrible, terrible. But hey, at least we're paying the carbon tax to save the planet. I don't think it's going to work. Okay, This is weird. Should it be in Truespiracies or the regular news pack? Let's put it in the regular news pack, shall we? This is in my hometown. This is where I grew up overnight. It seems pretty weird. I don't really know how weird it really is. It's a bunch of shipping pallets on a train that somehow mysteriously, just mysteriously, caught fire. And then rolled through my hometown overnight, where it stopped someplace and firefighters worked to extinguish the blaze. Look at that. That's where I grew up. City on fire overnight. Well, the train anyway. Look at all that. And you know, shipping pallets, they'll go up like kindling. They burn good. They burn real good. There it goes. Runaway train. Inferno to hell. Of course, you know, that kind of thing just fuels conspiracy theories, don't it? Sure does. Here's another angle for you. This is a good shot. Shot by Chad Lewis. This is from the London Fire Department. That's today. I'm less afraid of that than I am of that burning landfill. That's wood. That ain't gonna kill you quite as fast. The other stuff, that landfill, that's bad news. The question is, how did this start? It's under investigation. And because it's on a train, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. Here's a shot from a building, elevated position.
I don't understand.
Now, I have to say, I've never seen a train on fire like that in my lifetime. Not like that. I've covered train derailments, chemical train derailments, passenger train derailments. A bunch of them.
I don't understand.
But I've never seen a train catch fire quite like that.
What the fuck?
But what would cause that? I don't know. Could be arson. Could be something else. Fortunately, nobody hurt. Yeah. It is a little weird. Where was it like to grow up in Canada? Well, here's my hometown. Check it out. It's a very friendly place. Oh, it's just a quiet little town. Just a quiet little town. You know, my London, Ontario, you know what they call London, Ontario? The forest city. Because of all the trees that we have. Yeah, they made that movie, Runaway Train. I think it was John Voight that was in it. Well, there you go. So, there's that. Have we covered off all of the main news stories of the day? Yes, we have. All right, let's take a break. Creosote? No, I don't think so. Creosote is, that'd be OTE. Creosote is a chemical that is used to treat railway ties, to keep them from rotting. It's that black tarry-like stuff that they put all over railroad ties. That's why they're so gungy and dirty when you touch them. And it preserves the wood, but if you burn it, it's very carcinogenic. You do not want to burn anything with creosote in it. The wood shipping pallets generally are not treated for wood degradation or rot, They don't generally have too much. They sometimes might have something sprayed on them, but not usually like creosote. That's why you can actually chop up wood pallets and use them and burn them. So there is a difference, but you do not want to burn railway ties. And I have covered many stories over the years where where railway ties have been set on fire. And you don't want to get downwind from that stuff because that is very carcinogenic. It'll cause cancer if you breathe that stuff in. Not good news. So, good question. Very good question. All right, let's take a break and we'll come back on the other side with Truespiracies.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
The New World Order. Government overreach. The Great Reset. Mainstream media lies. Now more than ever, independent voices are needed. Donate now at freedomreporters.com. That's freedomreporters.com. Maverick News. The antivirus program for your mind.
Okay, are you ready? Hit it! Truespiracies, welcome to another episode, boys and girls, with stories so true, they're unbelievable. Where's Vincent Price when you need him for a good laugh? Donald Trump. Oh, wait till you hear my Taylor Swift story, though. It's a good one. But let's begin. And Sophie Trudeau, Gregoire Trudeau Sophie. She does not know her name anymore. But we got her too. We've got her coming up. But first of all, Donald Trump in court, falling asleep. Sleepy Don, they're calling him now. Donald Trump dozing off. I have a confession. I covered a lot of court over the years, lots and lots of court. A couple of times, maybe, when I was resting my eyes. Maybe went a little further than that. It would depend on how riveting the testimony was at any given time. There was one case in particular where I had to travel so far that I was just exhausted. I'd had hardly any sleep, and I was like sitting in court, and I was like this, and I had my pen, like this, and it would like fall out of my hand and wake me up. Oh my, true. That's a true story, because this is Truespiracies, not lie-spiracies. That's a true story. And Donald Trump apparently was, well, maybe resting his eyes, maybe dozing off, hard to tell. A little bit in court over the last couple of days. But the biggest problem that he's got right now is David Pecker. David Pecker. He's not from China. He's David Pecker, from the former publisher of the National Enquirer, where inquiring minds want to know, where they practice checkbook journalism, pay for stories. They see, the thing is, what's going on there, really, folks, is this whole thing is just political drama. This whole case is just an excuse to rehash all of these scandalous stories about Trump and Stormy Daniels, the porn star, and his relationship with the Playboy model Karen McDougal, and just to put people on the stand to just try to embarrass him with all kinds of negative crap. That's what is going on. So yeah, there he is. He's dozing off in court. And then you've got David Pecker, while he was the publisher of the National Enquirer, is saying in court that he had agreed to be the eyes and ears of the Trump campaign the first time around when Trump was elected. So he would get calls, apparently, from Cohen, Trump's lawyer, who would direct him on what kind of stories to run. This is the testimony that we were hearing today. So he would get, what kind of story should be run today? And then they'd say, well, we want a story on Marco Rubio. So they'd run a story about Marco Rubio and attaching him to drugs of some kind, like cocaine. Or and then Pecker admitted today that they made the whole story up about Ted Cruz's father meeting with Fidel Castro just before the JFK, or was it, what was that story? Cruz met with, I think it was Cruz's father, met with was it Lee Harvey Oswald? Yeah, he met with Lee Harvey Oswald, it says. That's right. So Cruz's father consort with Lee Harvey Oswald. So they made that whole thing up. And Trump kept referring to it. Cruz's father, Rafael Cruz, that's right. I just had to get my facts here straight. So the National Enquirer around the story. And in testimony, he said that they basically, they had a photo, of Cruz's father with Lee Harvey Oswald, but they mashed the picture together. They made it. It was fake. He admitted it in court. And then Trump was going around doing interviews talking about, oh, did you see the picture of Ted Cruz's father with Lee Harvey Oswald? It's horrible. Of course, that was when, he was running for the nomination against other Republicans. So I guess Cruz was asked about it by some media, and he says he doesn't want to revisit ancient history, so he's just not going to touch it. But all of that was coming out today in court. It's not good, but it's just so American, isn't it? That's the way politics has gone. It's turned into reality television, which is very surreal. So here I am on Truespiracies trying to tell you the truth about a fake story that was made up by the National Enquirer to help Trump, who owns a social media platform called Truth. Here he is today exiting the courthouse. Here's what he had to say. It'll be all political.
The gag order is totally unconstitutional. Can't even allow articles to be put in. As an example, these are articles that were over the last day and a half They're very good articles. They say the case is a sham and it shouldn't even be tried. It shouldn't have been submitted. And I don't even know if you're allowed to put them in. We have a gag order, which to me is totally unconstitutional. I'm not allowed to talk, but people are allowed to talk about me. So they can talk about me, they can say whatever they want, they can lie, but I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit back and look at why a conflicted judge has ordered me to have a gag order.
This isn't
I don't
as
think anybody's
yesterday.
ever seen anything like this. I'd love to talk to you people. I'd love to say everything that's on my mind, but I'm restricted because I have a gag order. And I'm not sure that anybody's ever seen anything like this before. And even having to do with articles, somebody writes an article. If I read every one of these articles incomplete, I read some of it and I'll look at headlines, all good headlines, that the case is a sham. But I can't read the whole thing. I'd be reading, this is like reading a novel. So I put an article in and then somebody's name is mentioned somewhere deep in the article and I end up in violation of a gag order. I think it's a disgrace. It's totally unconstitutional. I don't believe it's never, not to this extent, ever happened before. I'm not allowed to defend myself, and yet other people are allowed to say whatever they want about me. Very, very unfair. Having to do with the schools and the closings, that's Biden's fault. And by the way, this trial is all Biden. You know, this is all Biden, just in case anybody has any question. And they're keeping me in a courtroom, it's freezing by the way, in a courtroom all day long. Well, he's out campaigning. That's probably an advantage because he can't campaign. Nobody knows what he's doing. He can't put two sentences together. But he's out campaigning. He's out campaigning, and I'm here in a courtroom, sitting here, sitting up as straight as I can all day long, because you know what? It's a very unfair situation. So we're locked up in a courtroom, and this guy's out there campaigning, if you call it a campaign. Every time he opens his mouth, he gets himself into trouble. So that's the story. I have an unconstitutional gag order by a highly conflicted judge that should recuse himself. Very simple. On the schools, should have never happened. What's going on in this country now should have never happened. But of course, the Ukraine war would have never happened. The Israeli attack would have never happened. Inflation would have never happened. We have the worst president in the history of our country, and he's the one that has us in all these different lawsuits. Thank you very much.
It is unbelievable. I will say that. Everything is just surreal, isn't it? Bizarre. And here he is tonight, Trump, welcoming the former Japanese Prime Minister to Trump Tower, Taro Aso. Here, I'll show you the video. If I can, there we go. Okay, there it is.
From Japan, many from Japan.
Oh, really? That's too bad.
A very popular man, you know that, right? Hey, it's great, great.
You too.
You look well.
Yes, how are you?
We'll go up, have a little talk. Any questions or anything?
What do you think about the significance of Mr. Aso coming all over to pay a visit to you at this time around?
Well, he's a highly respected man in Japan and beyond, and somebody that I've liked and I've known through our very dear friend, right, Shinzo. We love Shinzo.
Yes.
And who was a great man, by the way. He was a great, great man. But we got to know each other, we like each other, and we'll be talking about Japan and the United States right now, and lots of other things also. But highly respected. It's a great honor to have him.
What is your message to the Japanese people?
To the people of Japan, it's a great country. You're doing very well. Shinzo was a great friend of mine. He was truly a great man and somebody that we all respected and we really loved. And I miss him greatly. But we really admire the people of Japan. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President?
Say it.
Any plans for tomorrow?
What's tomorrow? You tell me. You tell me.
Johnson is visiting with your students at Columbia.
Well, we have a lot of different things, but what's going on with the colleges and where they're closing Columbia now. I mean, it's just crazy. Columbia should gain a little strength, a little courage, and keep their school open. It's crazy, because that means the other side wins. When you start closing down colleges and universities, that means the other side. In Japan, they don't know about that. They don't close. They keep it open, they make it work. And the people running Columbia have made a grave mistake. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Ronald Reagan might still be alive. I've got video. I better put that one down. I almost forgot. Ronnie Reagan. Okay. That's coming up too. But I have to tell you, I was involved in an undercover investigation yesterday. Of sorts. The lengths I go to bring you the news. I went to the hospital yesterday. Yes, I let them abduct me, and they took me away on their flying saucer up to the 3rd floor, and I was on a gurney, and I let them conduct tests and experiments on me. Yes, I did. Were they aliens or were they humans? We're not sure. But they did use various medical instruments on me once they sedated me and I was fully unconscious. They did unspeakable things to me, which I only vaguely remember. I'm trying to block it out of my mind, but it's slowly coming back. The worst part of the experience, though, at this Canadian hospital, part of the socialized healthcare system, was the preparation for the procedures that they conducted on me yesterday. Part of the preparation involves watching Taylor Swift videos. It's true. It's true. I am not lying to you. They are forcing the patients to watch Taylor Swift videos. There I was, stripped, gowned, and gurneyed. Helpless, no place to go. And they parked me with a video monitor directly in front of me. Line of sight, no obstruction, audio up. And maybe it's because Taylor Swift released her new album yesterday, but it was nonstop Taylor Swift music videos. Constant bombardment. I was forced to watch it. They did not give me a remote. I was fully conscious. They had not yet sedated me. I was begging and pleading. I was like, please, please sedate me. And it was one Taylor Swift song after another. So I began, with my investigative mind, I began analyzing the Taylor Swift videos. I honestly, folks, I'm one of those anti-Swifties. And welcome, Swifties, by the way, from Santa Clara, which is, I believe, the Swiftie capital of the world, with more Swifties per capita than any community on the planet. So I targeted tonight's broadcast at Santa Clara with this particular story in mind. There I am, no place to go. Just hoping that they hurry up and bring the medication to knock me out. But I'm analyzing these Taylor Swift videos, and I realized something. Taylor Swift is entirely synthetic. I'm not even sure Taylor Swift is a real human being, because her videos are entirely synthetic. Her music is entirely synthetic. What do I mean? I mean it's a formula. Every song sounded the same to me. It was marketing at its finest. This is a product. She is just a product. I don't even know if this qualifies as fine art or even musical art. It's certainly commercial art. She has talent. But I wanted to share this experience with you because it was very revealing what I was watching. It was entirely a distraction, and yet it was just formulaic all the way through. This is the stuff that is being pumped into the brains of mostly adolescent females in our society. And I'm not sure if it's dangerous, but I don't think it's healthy. All right? Because this messaging that's coming with it is all very cliched. It's sort of a mix of post-Playboy, Barbie, post-Playboy, identity politics, Barbie, sexual angst, teenage angst. You know how rock and roll music was always rebellious, so there were always thinly veiled sexual references in the lyrics, right? Whether it's like Sugar Shack, I mean, you just pick your song. There are all kinds of sexual double entendres and throughout rock and roll music. Well, so too with Taylor Swift videos. I had no idea this stuff was bubblegum yet so sexual. It was like Cosmopolitan for teens with a beat. And the beat just changes from one song to the next. They call it another song. They change the beat. Right? That's all it is. And the melody might just vary a little bit, but every song follows the same formula. The harmonies all kind of come together in a similar way, so it's always this exact same style. At least all the videos that I watched over the course of over an hour. And the sexuality over the top. I don't know if you as parents have watched any of this stuff, but I'm watching Taylor Swift in, do you know those big, giant plexiglass glasses that look like, what are they, like cocktail glasses? Or they're not quite, they're not like champagne flutes, but you know that strippers would sit in back in the 50s and 60s, I guess, maybe even the 70s. They would like climb right in and swim around in the clear glass thing. I better find you a picture so you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. She's in this stupid glass thing. I should have got you the picture. Anyway, I'm looking for it. I don't know if it'll come up here or not in the images online. But she's in like a big, it's not a champagne glass. But anyway, I'll show you the pictures here that are coming up. And not that one. Trump, you're done for tonight. We've had enough Donald Trump for one night. Okay, here's Taylor Swift. Now we've got not Donald Trump, but Taylor Swift up on the screen. And there's all this stuff. Look, I mean, everything is sparkly. You look at her pictures, it's all, there it is right there. She's in, this is the one I'm talking about. Taylor Swift, Midnight's Easter Eggs. Okay, so that's the one that I'm talking, there it is right there. See, she's in that glass. So this is aimed at teenage girls, and there she is acting like a stripper from, well, it's like softcore stuff, right? Burlesque, I guess. But that's the sort of the overall message. And I get it. I mean, kids are just coming of age and whatever, and this is sort of glamorous, sexy. See what I'm talking about? This is what I was subjected to at the hospital yesterday. I was forced to watch it. That's why, did you see the thumbnail that I produced with the with the picture of Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange? Here, I'll show you that. Orange eyes. This was me yesterday, man. At the hospital But it was eye-opening, I'll have to tell you that, just watching these videos, because, you know, when it comes to entertainment, it is a product, and it is all vertically integrated, a completely vertically integrated industry. This was me watching Taylor Swift yesterday at the hospital before they knocked me out to do the unspeakable alien experiments to me. Jeez. Oh, man. This is less like the dicey street video. Anyway, hit me again, Daddy. Spank me harder. I didn't want them to. I wanted them to put me out. Anyway, it just showed me, though, that it wasn't just a statement on youth, society. It was about politics, too. It showed me how commercialized every form of art has become, and how synthesized it has become, how fake it all is. Whether you're watching reality TV, reality court with Trump, which I think is political theater, especially this Stormy Daniels stuff, or you're in the hospital and they're force-feeding you Taylor Swift videos. It was all old people up there, man. It was like old people day. I'm telling you, I was sitting with old people. Nobody wanted to watch Taylor Swift. It was like, you will watch Taylor Swift. So, but it reminded me of how politicized everything has become as well, because now we're talking about the National Enquirer. Well, Taylor Swift was trying to remain sort of apolitical right up until about 2015. And then the one song came on, and this is what reminded me. The Wildest Dreams song came on the screen, the video for it. And back then, she was accused of being racist. And the video was accused of showing racist images. And it's because it was set in like 1920s or something, sort of a 1920s themed video, the original video of it. And Taylor Swift at that time was under a lot of pressure to come out and support the left, support Biden, support the Democrats. And she didn't want any part of politics. She kept saying, no, I'm not really into politics. Well, they were pushing her to get involved in politics. And then she came out with the Wildest Dream video, really well shot. It was very, as I say, the whole style was 1920s. Here, I'll show you some images from it. I won't run the video because I don't want to get a copyright strike, but I'll show you the imagery to illustrate my point. So, of course, because it was shot in Africa and blah, 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 and it's all white people, she was accused of promoting colonialism. And they came out hard against her at the time. See, there's like an old retro style Wildest Dreams music video, movie poster style promo thing. And there it is. Made to look like, you know, the old style film of the day. The tint. Her look. The bright red lipstick. The dark hair. But I noticed the video that they ran in the hospital yesterday was not the original video, was not this. See? Affluent white people flying around in a biplane, having a romantic day. Rich, privileged white people. That's what she was accused of. On safari. Well, she changed her tune after that, and then she came out, and she's been very woke ever since. When they went after that video, and it looked like her career might be about to tank, she came out, and she's been hard, progressive, woke ever since. And now she's like this super duper mega star. And she's just going over the top. And now her latest album comes out yesterday. This is Truespiracies, by the way. And what's it called? Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department, double album. So, I'll tell you this. It tortured me. Yesterday in the hospital, it was not good, man. Not good at all. So it's her 11th studio album. Came out at midnight yesterday. And it was swiftly followed up 2 hours later with a drop of 15 additional songs. All of which sound exactly the same. If they're anything like what I was being fed in that video feed yesterday. But they are very formulaic. It's just change the beat. Every single one starts off, with the same kind of build up to a crescendo, and then it goes to sort of like almost an acoustic thing, and the tone of the vocals changes, and then it goes back to more of a full harmony thing, and it's all very heavily produced. Every single song. Whether it was Bad Blood or Wildest Dreams, and I can't remember all the names of the songs. Oh, crap. I clicked on the wrong thing. Am I still live? Yes, I am. Here I am. Okay. I thought I took myself off the air there for a moment by clicking the wrong thing. No, but that's Taylor Swift, and here's ABC World News Tonight talking about the launch of her latest album. And why would ABC be talking about this stuff? Because I'm telling you, man, all these media companies, like they're connected to the recording companies, all the media companies, they have their own like vertical integrations. All companies support the other companies. So when you're watching this stuff on the news, it's really a commercial. Here, we'll listen to this.
Finally tonight here, Taylor Swift's overnight surprise. Forgive the Swifties if they're a little tired today. Tonight, it's here and it's already breaking records. Taylor Swift's 11th album, The Tortured Post Malone.
You left your pen in my apartment. You have to come back and get your Bic. You left your Bic.
Then, the surprise from Taylor Swift. At 2 a.m., releasing 15 more songs.
Holy smokes!
31 songs in all.
31!
The cheers from fans listening late into the night. Rolling Stone tonight calling the album wildly ambitious and gloriously chaotic, going on to say it might be her most personal album yet. On Heartbreak.
One song, 31 times, over and over again.
On her life as a pop star.
Breaking down, I hit the floor. All the pieces of me shattered as the crowd was chanting more.
Her take on Florida.
Sounds just like the last song. That Florida could be Michigan.
And tonight, the record's already shattered. Amazon now saying it's the most streamed album in its first day ever on Amazon Music. Breaking 2 records already on Spotify, the most pre-saves for an album ever.
Wow.
And this year, the most streamed album in a single day.
Holy smokes.
Tonight, the fans studying every lyric.
Of
even
course.
looking for clues on her relationship with NFL Super Bowl champ Travis Kelce.
Oh, she wrote a song for her boyfriend?
The power and the talent of Taylor Swift. Whit and Lindsay are both here this weekend, and of course, I'll see you right back here.
Okay,
from
ciao for now, brown cow. Taylor Swift. 31 songs in total. Every single one the same. It's true, and you know it. I don't have anything against Taylor Swift. I think she's pretty talented. She seems like a nice person. Maybe. Although, wasn't that other girl that I saw in one of the videos with her, who was at the football game making satanic symbols while they were chugging beers or something? Anyway. It sucks to have the name Taylor Swift, though, if you're Taylor Swift. If you're this Taylor Swift. This guy here, it's also true. His name is Taylor. Her name is Taylor Swift. Sorry, her name says this person has the same name, and says my name is Taylor Swift, and I've gone through hell because of it. Employers won't even hire me. Taylor Swift is going through hell because of her name, but not the Taylor Swift you're thinking of. This is the New York Post rerunning a story out of Scotland. 19-year-old from Scottish village of Neworthil, Lanarkshire, shares a name with the global superstar and is often told she's an imposter of the pop phenomenon, who released her latest chart-topping, blood-spilling album, The Tortured Poets Department, on April 19th. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. This poor soul has the same name, and I guess some potential employers won't even hire her. There's the other Taylor Swift rocking it out on a guitar, but it's a living hell having the same name. Poor Taylor Swift. Anyway, they refer to this Taylor Swift as the wee Swift. And this Taylor Swift, though, as much as it sucks to be that Taylor Swift, maybe not so bad after all, because this Taylor Swift also swings, or sings rather, doesn't swing, not with, I'm not even going to go there. This Fortnite singer, it says, I guess it sings Fortnite songs, whatever, has 283 million Instagram followers. But she can't even use her real name on the platform. When we put her name into Facebook, they were like, you're trying to copy her name. We sent them documents, but they still said she was copying a celebrity's name. That's coming from the wee Taylor Swift's mom. So she's called the wee Taylor Swift online. She's only 5 feet tall. Taylor Swift, the mega superstar, is 5'11". That's how you can tell the difference. Other than that, they're exactly the same. But that's a complaint that she has about Facebook, and I'm complaining about Facebook. And I think I am going to maybe take some legal action. They have blocked us on Facebook, will not give me access to our Facebook accounts at all. And I'm fed up. So I think tomorrow I'm going to begin initiating legal action, and I'm going to tell them. You see, they've left the pages up. They're still out there for all the world to see. People are trying to message. I can't get the messages. They see the content that is still up, which apparently is the reason for blocking us. They're leaving the content up, but the content is so whatever, so bad that we're not supposed to have access to it. So I'm told we're banned for life. They're giving us some time to appeal things, but I've already appealed and that was rejected. So they've left all the stuff up, but I don't have access to it. So I am of the opinion that it is time to maybe initiate legal action, because they can't have it both ways. They can't do this to people. They can't take people's intellectual property or creative property and just leave it online. They can't take someone's Facebook page that they've created, which is a reflection of you as an individual and a reflection of, or a representation of, a public representation of our brand, Maverick News, Maverick Multimedia, and not give you access to it. They've effectively stolen our Facebook pages. And they're not allowing us to have access to them, to maintain them, to respond to inquiries, to maintain our reputation and our brand. It's damaging our reputation because people are trying to contact us and can't. And they don't know why. We're just not allowed to respond to messages. Prohibited. So people think that we're just being jerks or ignoring them. This is unacceptable. So, tomorrow I'm going to initiate legal action. I will give them, a certain ultimatum. And what I'm seeking is either for them to return control of our property to us or to take it down. But they can't just leave it up, control it on their end, take it away from us, and give us no access. It's not theirs. Oh, sure, they have some jurisdiction because it's their platform, but it's still our brand. I own Maverick Multimedia. Belongs to me. It's incorporated, but I'm the CEO and majority shareholder. So it's mine. We're a teeny tiny corporation. We're not like the big mega corporations at all. But yeah, it's us. That symbol behind me right there, that one right there, that's not Facebook's. So, Maverick Multimedia tomorrow will be laying it on the line with Facebook. And I'm not sure where that will go, but I'm sick and tired of their authoritarianism and their illegal actions, their theft of our property. So, that's where we're going tomorrow, and I've got more Truespiracies coming up after this, but if you'd like to support us, you certainly can by donating at maverickdonations.com. That's the Give, Send, Go. We do have a lot of expenses to cover here, maybe a lot more expenses if this legal thing gets some legs and starts to gallop. I don't know where it'll go, but I know how I'm starting tomorrow. Maverickdonations.com, we're going to need some legal representation. And freedomreporters.com, you can donate there as well to help keep us operating here. We rely entirely on you. Thank you, everybody who has donated so far. You're the only thing that keeps us rocking and rolling here. And we are a small operation, and that's okay because we may not be big, but we are small. And we will be back with more Truespiracies here on the Maverick News Channel. Don't go away.
Maverick News. The world is watching.
The New World Order. Government overreach. The Great Reset. Mainstream media lies. Now more than ever, independent voices are needed. Donate now at freedomreporters.com. That's freedomreporters.com. Maverick News. The antivirus program for your mind.
Okay, and then I've got a whole bunch of other stuff to share with you tonight. pretty interesting. Not all that. Sophie Trudeau coming up. But as much as we were talking about Trump and his trouble in court today, and then Taylor Swift, can you believe that David Pecker from the National Enquirer just made that story up about Ted Cruz's father, and the JFK thing? I know why. Because the JFK thing, that's like an entry point for a lot of people to go down some rabbit holes, that's for sure. So that sucked some people in. Just made it up. Fake picture. Back to Taylor Swift for just a moment. Okay, here on Truespiracies this week. Oh, inquiring minds want to know, but the Globe's got it. Right there, see that? Taylor Swift's private pain, tormented by bullies. Yeah. Can you believe that? How was it that Taylor Swift was not popular in high school? Taylor Swift gets the last laugh on bullies. There it is right there. I found that, and I thought, well, we need to scalp that story for Truespiracies this week. Superstar Taylor Swift, it says here, in the Globe, is a global phenomenon with millions of fans who worship her, but at one time, she was a schoolgirl who was cruelly bullied by her classmates. What is it with these big celebrities? They always have some story of woe. They were always the ugly duckling that turned into the swan. So too with Taylor Swift in a really major way. They made fun of her. You know why? Because she wanted to be a country singer. It says so right here. You Taylor Swift, you don't like metal? Although it's hard to imagine the star was unpopular, she went through hell. Junior high was actually sort of hard because I got dumped by this group of popular girls, reveals the 34-year-old singer. Oh, she's almost over the hill. They didn't think I was cool or pretty enough, so they stopped talking to me. Aww. They thought it was weird that I liked country music. They made fun of me, according to sources who shall remain nameless. This is a quote supposed to come straight from Taylor Swift herself. The singer's mom, Andrea, 66, was a constant support during those heartbreaking times. Oh, and look at her now. See, even you can overcome bullying. When her bullied daughter came home distraught and weepy, Andrea would grab her car keys. She would take me on these adventures, and we would drive around and go to towns we'd never seen before, recalls Taylor. Those adventures and those days of just running away from my problems. You're not supposed to run away from your problems, but when you're 13 and your friends don't want to talk to you, and they move when you sit down at the lunch table, and your mom lets you run from these problems, I think it's a good thing. My mom was my escape in a lot of ways. Yeah. Well, she rebounded pretty good. She got herself the hometown hero and the football player boyfriend. She got herself a whole bunch of awards. She got like $200 billion. She learned how to play the Gitbox. And now all those friends are sorry that they bullied her, and it'll be a made-for-TV movie soon. What else is in here? Oh, stars who thank God for their success. I'm wondering about the truth behind all of this. Now, it's true that they're reporting on this, but Pierce Brosnan apparently is more religious than you think. He's right here in the center, as you can see, and he says, prayer helps me to be a father. God knows you need to pray when you're a father. To be an actor and to be a man, I don't preach it, but it's a faith that is a comfort to me when the night is long. Reba McEntire, I can't imagine living a life without God in my life. He is my best friend. He's my buddy. He's the one that I talk to when there's no one around. You know what this reminds me of? You ever see that movie, The Right Stuff, about the astronauts? And they're having this news conference and talking about, getting ready to do their space shot. And it starts off and they ask these guys, the astronauts, do you guys believe in God? Do you attend a church? And they start going down the line and every one of them lies. Right? And, oh yes, I attend regularly. No, don't think so. Oh, here's the story I really wanted to share with you. Near-death experiences out of the Globe, because the Globe's got it. Or this is not the Globe. Sorry, this is the National Examiner. Whatever. 15 stars who've had near-death experiences. Gary Busey. Do you remember him? His best movie ever was the Buddy Holly story. Well, he's in here talking about his near-death experience. But he also did that movie with Erika Eleniak and Steven Seagal. What was that called? That action flick. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Buddy Holly story Oscar nominee was Hollywood's bad boy until his devastating near-fatal 1988 motorcycle accident in which he was hurled headfirst into a curb. I was going to say, if you listen to Gary Busey's talk, sometimes he sounds like he got a few screws loose. Now we know why. When I was on the other side, there were balls of light in the air, and a voice said, "You may come with us now, or return your body and continue your destiny. It's your choice," recalls Busey, who's 79. Yeah, if you rack your head against the curb, you might see a few stars and a few balls of light twirling around over your head. Anyway, that was his near-death experience. I had a near-death experience. I truly did. I might share it with you some night soon. Maybe if you want me to. It was better than his. Harrison Ford was in a plane crash. And when asked about the injuries, the 81-year-old Harrison Ford joked, a dislocated right ankle, a shattered pelvis, a broken back, and a serious bump on the head with major lacerations. Other than that, nothing. Later, he said he didn't remember anything after the crash and after the 5 days that followed because doctors had to place him in a medically induced coma so he could survive. Yeah, kind of like me going to the hospital, first being subjected to Taylor Swift videos, then being put under so the aliens could conduct horrific procedures on me while I was unconscious. I'm not telling you what they did to me. Oh my God. Orlando Bloom fell 3 stories. That explains a lot there too. And survived, and he had a near-death experience. And for 4 days, he says, I faced the idea of living in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. I went from some dark places in my mind. I realized I'm either going to walk again or not. Now he's grateful for every day my limbs that allow me to push my limits and live life on my edge, but safer now. Yeah, the older I get, the more I stay away from heights. I was never afraid of heights before, but strangely, as I get older, I am. I become very nervous around the edges of buildings. Oh, speaking of the edges of buildings, we won't go on about these near-death experiences. I will share mine with you sometime, if you want me to. I don't want to make it all about me. Yeah, heights. Famous balcony appearances by celebrities. This is the one that really sticks in my mind. Michael Jackson dangling his baby over the balcony. That was back in 2002 in Berlin. Just because you're famous and have a lot of money doesn't mean you're very smart. And oh, there's Cary Grant. See, if I did that, I could have done that when I was younger. But today, do what Cary Grant was doing here, sitting on the edge of that building like that. Oh, I could do it, but I would honestly, my heart would be beating a little faster. I've climbed up, the ladders for fire trucks before. I've done that kind of thing. But the last time I did it at an event with the local fire department here, I have to admit, it was very uncomfortable for me. I'm just getting old, I guess. I'm just more aware of my mortality. I guess every time the aliens probe you, you become a little more aware of how little time we have on this earth, and you begin to cherish it a little more every day. Prince Charles and Diana on the balcony having a smooch, and this is probably the most famous one. You've all seen this, right, of Marilyn Monroe? This famous balcony shot? That's there, right there. You know what sticks in my mind, though? The Vogue photo shoot, which actually the video, with Kate Upton. You remember Kate? You know Kate Upton? She's kind of drifted off the radar. She was like that Sports Illustrated model who became really famous for a couple of years. And she did a Vogue shoot. I don't know how long ago it was, but this is the one that just brought that back to mind, because in the Vogue video, to go with the photo shoot, they have her in New York, and she kind of recreates that shot in her own way, with the photographer she was working with. That was cool. And just to show you that Maverick News has next month, Alex Jones might have tomorrow's news today, but we have next month's news right now, or last week. In fact, we have this week's news. We had this week's news 6 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago, somewhere in that range. Terminator gets a new machine part. We had that story long time ago, National Enquirer, National Examiner, whatever. I can't keep them all straight. Doesn't matter. National Examiner. Terminator, yeah, he got a heart machine. Yeah, pacemaker. We had that. We had the video of him talking about it. This is not news. This is history. They probably got it from us. There's another story in here, too. We had this days ago. The day that it happened. Kevin Bacon is footloose again. This is about Kevin Bacon going back to the high school where they shot the movie Footloose. We just had that a couple of days ago. Sorry, we had the scoop before the National Examiner. I don't even think InfoWars had that one. Oh, here's a nice shot. Just in passing. For all us old geezers out there who remember all these old movies, you notice how these tabloids are aimed at people in my demographic, my age range? Yeah, anyway, that's the National Examiner. We don't need to go too much deeper into this stuff. 15 stars who came back from the dead. Well, not quite. Donald Sutherland had meningitis. Drew Barrymore had a concussion. Orlando Bloom fell 3 stories. Chevy Chase was electrocuted. Sharon Stone had a stroke. George Clooney was in a motorcycle crash. And Jane Seymour had anaphylactic shock. Oh well. Who cares about going into World War III? Ladies and gentlemen, Gwen and Blake have trouble in paradise. Yeah, you know who else has had trouble in paradise? Sophie and Justin Trudeau. Yeah. She's out there. Justin Trudeau's estranged wife. She's out there promoting her new book. It's costing JT big time. Big time. We reported on this before, and the book has, now come out. It hasn't come out yet. Is it out yet? No. Yeah, it's out today, I believe. Yeah. So I said we might review this book. I'm probably going to have to buy it now. Yeah, I'll probably have to buy it, and we can review it maybe tomorrow night. So she's out there promoting this, and as a result, he's paying a pretty heavy price, man, in the public relations department. This is not helping him. First of all, well, let's show you the book. I've shown you this before, but I'll show you the book now again. Closer together, knowing ourselves, loving each other. Yeah, but the coverage, the media coverage of her book release is really focusing on material that is giving Trudeau's opponents a lot of ammunition. Here's Yahoo News, Yahoo Life. Sophie Trudeau says sometimes it gets messy after separation from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. This is just one example of the media that's coming out as a result of this. So she talks about her life with Trudeau, and this story makes reference to many different interviews she's been giving to promote that book, which contains a lot of, inside information on the relationship between her and JT. So she's candid about her life following her separation from Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Talks about this interview she did with CBC's The Current, about her book. I'm in a family, it says, and I'm raising my kids, and I've had, a partner where sincerity, open conversations, difficult conversations are at the core of who we are as a family, she explained. I feel that this space of calm inside me, most people sense it, and the ones who don't, well, it's okay. I can't control that. Whatever that means. The couple separation has been a learning curve for the family. It has been on public display as well, and for a long time you could see that there was real tension between the two. And then she had, well, I would say, she was kind of hanging around with some other people, shall we say. And there was the whole thing with that actor, Ildris, what's that guy's name? Idris Elba? Yeah, Idris Elba, the actor. This guy here. So she was hanging around with this guy for a while. There you go. So she had something to do with him. Now she's got herself another new main squeeze. A doctor, as I understand it. And JT, well, I don't know what it's like to be the Prime Minister, and I don't know what the dating life for Justin Trudeau would be like these days. And I don't think a lot of people care. At least a lot of these seems to be he's so unpopular. I don't think there's a lot of sympathy out there for him, honestly. And hang on here, I lost my spot. Let me get back here to my notes. Yeah, so she talks about being in tune and caring for her mental health. And she says, I have never been more attuned and caring of my mental health than through this whole process, she said. I have been pushed to dig into my authenticity and to put my attachment issues aside. But just because you restructure a relationship, it doesn't mean you have to kill it. We are still bound by love. But she talks about escaping from Trudeau, and she has done that, I guess, to at least some degree. The rest of the country, though, still kind of in the clutches of Justin Trudeau. And looks like we might be stuck with him at least until June of 2025, having heard this week from some members of the NDP, the Democratic Party, that it looks like they might be prepared to continue to prop him up with that coalition government. the NDP Liberal coalition until the last moment, if necessary, when Justin Trudeau would constitutionally be forced to call an election. So maybe, another full year and a bit to go of JT, but his day, it's coming. It's coming. You can see the writing on the wall. The country is coming apart at the seams. Everything is in turmoil. It is not good for him at all. And the longer he waits, I think the worse things are going to get for him, because I don't see the country improving, especially not with the economic policies they have in place, the social policies, and especially the immigration policies, which don't sit well, not just with Canadians in general, but even and especially, I guess, newer Canadians who have arrived in the country, where new polling has shown that they are concerned about the level of immigration, that they think it's too much. Even people who have only been in the country, say, less than 10 years. New polls, just fresh out, indicating that they think the Canadian government is bringing too many new people in. Housing crisis as a result. Not able to provide adequately for people. Too much, too fast. And that's kind of where we're at. So, that's a prelude of things to come on Sophie Trudeau's new book. I will get a copy. I will speed read it. And maybe tomorrow night, maybe the night after, we'll give you a full review so that you don't have to subject yourself to the full painful experience of having to buy it. And then you can decide if you want to buy it afterward, I guess, after listening and sharing the review here on the Maverick News Channel. Do I have anything else for you this evening? Sophie. Did we do Sophie? Oh, yes. Ronald Reagan. Is he alive? Is he alive? Well, I'm going to show you something. It's going to open your eyes. I'll show you on the other side of this here on Truespiracies. Don't go away.
The information war is raging. Truth without integrity is worth nothing. Maverick News. Because those who have power and those who seek it must be held accountable.
The world is watching.
Join our family of truth seekers. Donate today and add your voice to the chorus of Maverick Knights. Donate at maverickdonations.com. Truth. Integrity. It's the Maverick way. Maverick News. The world is watching.
Maverick News. Fighting for freedom.
Okay, I'm going to show you something, and you guys can tell me what you think of this. This is pretty powerful stuff, produced by Paper the Penguin. Is Ronald Reagan alive? Here he is dissolving the United States of America in this time of uncertainty, in this time of people calling maybe even for a civil war, predicting one, and even with predictive programming in place through a couple of different very scary movies that seem pretty realistic and maybe a foreshadowing of things to come. We present this tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I stand before you with a heavy heart and a burdened conscience. The road that led us to this point has been long and arduous, filled with great challenges and immense sacrifices. We have fought a battle of ideologies, a war that pitted East against West, communism against democracy. And sadly today, I must deliver news that will shake the very foundations of our great nation. As President of the United States, it is my duty to act in the best interest of our people. It is my solemn responsibility to ensure that the future of our nation is safeguarded, even if the choices I make are difficult to accept. It is in this spirit that I address you today. The Cold War, as we know it, has come to an end. The Soviet Union has emerged, solidifying its grip on Eastern Europe and expanding its influence across the globe. The tide of history has turned against us, and we must face the reality that our long-held position as the world's superpower is no more. In the face of this sobering truth, I have made a decision that will forever alter the course of our nation's history. I have chosen to dissolve the United States of America. I understand the shock and disbelief that these words may elicit, but we must recognize that our beloved nation was built on the principles of freedom, liberty, and self-determination. And if we are no longer able to uphold these ideals, if we are unable to defend them against the rising tide of communism, then we must reevaluate our purpose as a nation. By dissolving the United States, we will create an opportunity for new beginnings. We will free ourselves from the burden of global responsibilities and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. We will redefine our place in the world, focusing on rebuilding our economy, strengthening our communities, and rediscovering the core values that have made America great. This decision does not come without pain. It is a painful acknowledgement of our defeat, of the ideals we fought so valiantly for slipping from our grasp. But it is also an opportunity to heal, to regroup, and to ensure that the spirit of America lives on, even if it takes a different form. I call upon every citizen of this great nation to embrace this moment with courage and resilience. Let us not dwell on the past, but instead let us forge a new path forward. Together we can rebuild, we can reimagine, and we can reclaim the spirit that made America shine brightly throughout history. Though our nation may no longer be united as one, we can still preserve the values and principles that made us who we are. We can continue to champion freedom, liberty, and justice in our communities, in our states, and in the world at large. We can still be a beacon of hope for those who seek a better tomorrow. My fellow Americans, the road ahead will not be easy, but I have faith in the resilience of our people, in their ability to adapt and overcome. Let us remember the words of our founding fathers, who declared that in the face of adversity, we shall always remain one nation, indivisible. And though we may no longer be one nation, we can remain indivisible in our commitment to the values that define us. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless this newly redefined America. Thank you, and good night.
What did you think? I'm going to look in the chat here. Speech is off. Yeah, mouth not lining up to the words. Dissolving the U.S., yeah. It says, make an actor into the president. Genius! They've been doing it ever since. Yeah, fake, and yeah, fake, of course, yeah. It is absolutely fake, but pretty darn good. Very entertaining. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you tonight to show you the progress being made on the AI front. That was produced by, again, Paper the Penguin. You might want to check out that channel. Got some interesting material there. I thought that was very well done. And maybe too well done. Starting to scare me, all of this stuff. Starting to scare me. And I'm sure there will be more scary news tomorrow night. Let me just check to make sure that we've got everything covered here for this evening. Let's check to see if anybody's feeding me anything on our wire surface of sorts here. Check there. I'm going to check over here, see if there's anything more out of Columbia University tonight. And oh yeah, there's this story about Russia is saying that claiming that Ukraine has lost about 500,000 soldiers since the beginning of the conflict in Ukraine between Russia and Ukraine. I did not mention that earlier, but that is what's being said tonight. Almost 500,000 military personnel since the beginning of the special military operation. That's coming from Defense Ministry and Sergei Shoigu today. And of course, some of these comments coming out of Russia in response to that $95 billion military aid package that did pass in the House on Saturday. The arrival of more aid to Ukraine now, I think, just days away. And it's not just more aid coming from the United States, it's coming from European countries as well. Rishi Sunak promising $617 million for Ukraine, their largest ever from the United Kingdom. But man, that's a lot more from the United States. $61 billion as part of that $95 billion aid package going directly to Ukraine. We'll be hearing more about it and more about what's going on with these protests all over the place, including at Columbia, where now classes suspended. Okay, all you go home. You can learn from home because of the protests, the pro-Palestinian protests on campus. So, interesting times, scary times, but hang in there, folks. Because it seems truth is stranger than fiction, but somehow we will get through it. And I will be back tomorrow night, right here on the Maverick News Channel, with your regularly scheduled news broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out here. I will catch you all on the flip side.
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.